These are my top 10 Fantastic Four comics I'm looking for right now. What is going on, YouTube? This is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics and Collectibles, and we are back with another top 10 list. This time, the top 10 Fantastic Four books I'm looking to buy right now. If you guys haven't checked out my other top 10s, I recently did a top 10 X-Men keys that I wanted to add to the collection and an overall top 10 books that I was looking to buy. If you guys haven't checked out those videos, I suggest you do. Before we get jumping into this top 10 list, I want you to go ahead and I want you to hit that subscribe button, guys. I want you to like this video, and I want you to share it with anyone out there who may be interested. But most importantly, I want you guys to comment down below and let me know what you think of this list. Did I miss any books? Some of these books should be in a different order. Drop me a comment down below and let me know what you think. So let's get started at number 10. At number 10, guys, is a copy of Fantastic Four number 52, the first appearance of the Black Panther. Now, unfortunately, with Chadwick Boseman's passing, I am not too sure what Marvel plans to do with this character going forward in the MCU, but it hasn't stopped the book from climbing even higher. The CGC 4.5 recently sold for $1,050 this month, and a 3.0 also sold this month for $580, so this book is still climbing. Hang on to this book if you guys haven't, but if you don't, I think now's a good time to add it to the collection. At number 9, guys, is a copy of Fantastic Four number 45, the first appearance of the Inhumans. I do think that this book is a highly undervalued key and a beautiful Jack Kirby cover. If you do not have a copy, now's the time. The CGC 5.0 only sold for $402 this month, and a CGC 4.5 only sold for $305. So this book can be had for cheap. I recently picked up 2 copies of this book for around $250. Both raw, both I'm happy to add. You never know, we may see the Inhumans down the line in an MCU movie or in a Disney Plus series. At number 8, guys, is Fantastic Four number 18, the first appearance of the Super Skrull. Now, we know that Secret Invasion is coming, and I'm betting on this book that the Super Skrull will actually show up in that series. A CGC 3.0 sold back in March for $300. A 4.0 sold for $732 in April of this year as well. So it's starting to climb. If you guys can find this book for cheap and it looks good, add it to the collection. I am betting on a big pop. Coming in at number 7 is a copy of Fantastic Four number 19, the first appearance of Rama-Tut. For those who don't know, Rama-Tut would later to go on to become Kang the Conqueror. Now, if you guys can get an Avengers number 8, I think FF number 19 is a good buy as well. A CGC 4.0 recently sold for $532 back in April, and a 3.0 recently sold for $299 in May of this year. So I still think this is a nice key to add to the collection if you guys can find one. Coming in at number 6, guys, is a copy of Fantastic Four number 20, the first appearance of the Molecule Man. Now, for those who have been watching my channel, you know I recently also picked up 2 copies of this book. I got them for both about $150 a piece. I do think we may see the Molecule Man in a minor villain role going forward in the MCU and in a future Fantastic Four movie. Who knows? I'm specking on it. The CGC 3.5 recently sold for $315 back in March. A 4.0 back in February only sold for $195. So this book is starting to climb a little bit, but it's still way undervalued. Nobody's talking about this character. I believe he will show up later on down. Maybe it take a few years, but I do think this is a good book to spec on. Coming in at number 5, guys, is a copy of Fantastic Four number 36, the first appearance of Medusa and the Frightful Four. I am not sure if we will see Medusa or not, but I do believe the Frightful Four will show up at some point down the line in the MCU. A CGC 3.5 recently sold this month for $201. A 4.5 also sold for $225. So again, another inexpensive key. A couple of $100 will get you a 3.5 to a 4.5. I think it's a good buy. Hang on to this book if you can, and if you could find it, because they are scarce. Coming in at number 4, guys, is a copy of Fantastic Four number 12, and we're starting to get into the bigger books. This is one of my all-time favorite covers of all time. Jack Kirby at his best with a great background, with the characters showing up, popping in color. This, of course, is the first time that the Hulk and the Thing actually meet. They meet the other Fantastic Four members as well. This book I bought a couple of years ago Raw, I got it graded by CGC, came back a 4.5. I paid $550 back then. Now, a CGC 3.0 will get you $830. A 4.0, believe it or not, back in April sold for $1,808. So this book is ready to take off. It is going crazy. If you guys do not own a copy of this book, now is the time. I am hoping we get to see a recreation of this cover going forward in a future Fantastic Four movie. That is my hope. Please. But it's a beautiful book. You guys should own it if you can. If you want to add it to the collection, I believe it's a good buy. Coming in at number 3, guys, is another heavy hitter. It is Fantastic Four number 49, the first appearance of Galactus. Now, the World Eater will eventually show up in the MCU. It's only a matter of time. It may be a few years away, I will say that. But a CGC 4.0 this month sold for $1,180. A 3.0 also sold for $1,050. So to me, if you do not get this book now, it's only going to double, triple, quadruple in price. So if you can afford a copy and you want to own one, find one and add it to your collection. Coming in at number 2 is another heavy hitter, and this possibly could have made number 1 on the top list. It is Fantastic Four number 48, the first appearance of the Silver Surfer and a cameo of Galactus. Now, this book has gone through the stratosphere. I had 1.0 owned a 4.5 CGC copy, and I sold it about a year ago for like $1,200. Believe it or not, a 3.0 right now CGC sold this month for $2,199. A 4.0, have a seat, sold for $2,700 May of this month. So this book has entered the stratosphere and will continue to go higher once we get Silver Surfer in the MCU. And we 100% know that he will show up. He's such a big character. Eventually, he will be in a movie. Now, the number 1 spot on my list is a book that I almost didn't put on there only because it is very, very expensive. But believe it or not, about a year and a half to 2 years ago, you could find a 1.0 copy of this book for $500. No more. You guessed it. It is Fantastic Four number 5, the first appearance of Dr. Doom. A 1.0 will get you right now, a CGC copy, $3,900. That is a pretty big gain in about a year and a half. That last sale was in March of 2021, but we do have a May sale of a 1.5 for $5,600. So this book is definitely an expensive book. Dr. Doom is one of the biggest baddies there is in Marvel. I think he is probably top 3 in the Marvel villain universe. And I don't think they're going to rush Dr. Doom. You may see a couple of Fantastic Four movies before we get an introduction of Victor Von Doom. And at least that's what I'm hoping. I don't think Marvel will rush the character. But when this character does hit, I do believe he will be a fan favorite. It will be a huge issue. You guys should pick this book up if you guys can find one for a decent price. But like I said, it is through the stratosphere right now. So happy hunting. So this is another top 10 video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, check out my other top 10s to see what books I'm picking up to add to my collection and books that I'm specking on. So this is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics and Collectibles saying thank you for watching this video, guys. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and I'll talk to you guys soon.